corn syrup, fructose, cornstarch, Ritz crackers, right? This is peanut butter crackers. You got palm oil, high fructose corn syrup, canola oil. If it's coming packaged up like this, don't eat it.
What's common in a lot of nuts, you can go look it up, it's called phytic acid, and that's classified as an anti-nutrient. It goes through your body and it literally absorbs nutrients that you have already gotten, that you've already absorbed from something you've eaten, leaving you depleted.
Go back to the basics. Your fruits, your vegetables, protein, fats, those are your whole food options.
When you plan that cheat meal, you're resilient to it because you've built up, your body's in a much better spot to absorb that hit and keep on going as long as you get back on track. If you fall off the wagon and you derail, whole different story.
Nutritional, not full on deep dive, but just a quick conversation around some of the supplements that I'm taking, what I would think the foundation of supplements are, disclaiming everything. We're not nutritionists, we're not telling you, again, this is informational purposes only, go do your own research.
So it's worked for us.
Yeah, we just want to share what's worked for us, what's worked for others.
Yep.
And look, we are qualified to give advice, but we just don't know you personally, so we're not going to sit here and say that this is the best thing for you.
Absolutely.
But if you were to walk in and us do a health assessment or come into a pharmacy, sure, we can guide you right through what would be the best option. But since we're talking in a general perspective here, we got to keep things PG. So I'm on a shitload of supplements, so I'm not going to go through all of those today. We'll break each one of those down, but what we should talk about is just the foundational things that are key to nutrition. It doesn't just have to be the supplement, it can be a little bit of the diet, and don't go nerd out us on carnivore yet. We'll save a carnivore episode.
I'll give the quick version.
Just a hair.
It's too good not to.
Yeah. The thing I'll say is a lot of people say like eat whole foods. And really what they're saying is don't do the processed stuff. Like we're sitting here in my office and I don't eat any of this stuff. It's for meetings and such, but like processed. Here's nuts. These are probably a little better, different nuts and mixes, which are probably a little bit better. These are not. I mean, these are protein bars with ingredients you and I can't. Corn syrup, fructose, vegetable glycerin, rice starch, soy lecithin, cornstarch. I mean,
all the additives.
It's all the additives. So these will be great. Ritz crackers, right? This is peanut butter crackers. My daughter loves this crap.
Oh, they taste amazing.
Yeah. You got palm oil, high fructose corn syrup, canola oil, sugar, dextrose, wheat starch. When they say whole food, this is what they're saying. Is like if it's coming packaged up like this, don't eat it. Even with your nuts, you got to be careful. Like reading the labels, and then it's hard. So we have so many things thrown at us. They got the keto on the label or healthy on the label or whatever it might be, and so you go shopping and your taste buds want all these wonderful things. I would say the number one thing is, and it is the right thing that people are saying, is go back to the basics. Your fruits, your vegetables, your protein, your fats, those are your whole food options. That's pretty general, but compared to the traditional American diet, just that alone is probably the best first step any human can take.
Yes.
And just starting to gain a little bit of control of all the things that are swirling around in your bloodstream that are just firing off the mayhem that's happening inside of your body. That's where I would start, and a ton of water. So before even looking at supplements, like we always want to add.
Right.
I heard this supplement does this for me. Well, mother effer, if you're tearing into peanut butter crackers 4 times a day, that supplement is not going to offset what your body's going through in the process. So I'm saving you money. I'm telling you right now, spend less. Don't go buy the supplements yet. Just start looking at what's on your plate.
Literally.
Yeah. Number one. So I guess that's where I would start. I don't know. I think you're probably in the same boat, except you're going to want to go way more strict immediately.
Well, no. I mean, I'll touch on that in a minute, but basically the way I like to dial it back and maybe get nerdy or whatever. But what is nutrition? When you go, what's nutrition? Well, it's everything that your body needs to operate at its highest potential. You know, for you to feel for your health to be as high as it could be, so that you're functioning. It's just like your car. If you wanted to put you're going to want to put the cleanest things in your car. We've talked about this before. For it to function at the highest level, you need to treat your body the same way. So you have to break down the molecules you're putting in your mouth. What's going in here? The quality of what you're putting in is going to determine what your body can do with it. There's a couple of other things that as pharmacists we're going to be cognizant of, whether it's food or supplementation or whatever it may be. But the bioavailability. If you consume something like a cheap supplement, for example, or processed food, what is the bioavailability once it gets to your stomach, which means how well can your body even absorb the content of that, and is it beneficial to absorb it? Is it pro-inflammatory or anti-inflammatory? Is it going to help the friendly bacteria in your gut, or are they going to be like, what is this? Because that's what you need to be considering. And then when you look at nutrition as a whole, it is going to depend on what kind of diet you're on. And it ranges, there's hundreds of different diets and they go from one extreme to the next. I'm not going to go through all those, but when you look at it, almost on any diet you're on, you can get a general consensus of, is this going to lead to a deficiency? Am I going to be low on B12 or iron or vitamin D, or where are the holes? And once you know where the holes are, that tells you the supplement you should get, and then you should go get the supplement that's the cleanest, that's the highest bioavailability, so that it's not just going in and straight out the other end. And once you start looking at that, that's when you can really get the complete nutrition. Now, the whole foods side of thing, where he was just talking, the main reason why whole foods work is because they are just the raw thing. Like, there's not all these additives, there's no preservatives, there's no processed stuff.
But you got to go organic. Because
you want to get it as clean as possible.
Yeah.
Because again, you're going all the way down to the molecular level, and if you've got some bad molecules mixed in, those can be cancer causing. Those can do all kinds of
they're
stuff.
Spraying the shit. Same way the guys are spraying the bugs. I mean, they're spraying the bugs. Yep. They're spraying it, and it's soaked into that stuff. Mm-hmm. And so you have to. I mean, you have to go organic. You do.
Right.
When you skip that step, it's the same thing with your meats. Like, you have to go grass-fed, grass-finished. You have to go for animals that are not stressed the F out, because you are what you eat. I mean, so diet's very confusing. Back when I used to train people to my bodybuilding, they're so cyclical because people want like the magic. What's the magic diet? Which one am I going to live the longest on or be the healthiest on? Or it's not that freaking simple. No. And your body you're so unique as an individual. I may thrive on a few things and they may destroy you. Yeah. And they do. I mean, we already know that. We've watched it happen firsthand. So I can eat a lot more, and when I go run blood work, my inflammation markers are still incredibly low. I haven't thrown my body into any crazy inflammation. There's also medication and supplementation you can do that will let you get away with a little bit more and not throw your body into big inflammatory fires. And I started cheating that a little too far. So
and that's the problem. It builds a bad habit, right? You pull the drug away,
you're in trouble.
Yeah.
So you have to balance those things, and we'll go through it. I mean, we'll even take you shopping, show you the back end of products and how to look at those. So the easiest way to just simplify this whole freaking thing is, how natural are the sources that I'm going after? What are they spraying on them? What are they feeding them, right? So salmon is not salmon. If salmon is raised in a farm with stressed out other salmon, they're all back to back and they're essentially grain feeding that fish to fatten them up. Damn, they taste good because they're fat. They're super marbly, they're like buttery in flavor, but they're actually higher in the wrong omegas. Yeah. And exactly. So you end up taking what's supposed to be this healthy fish that tastes so good, and then now all of a sudden you're pro-inflammatory.
Yeah, in fact, on that, I mean, like if you caught a wild caught salmon of the same breed,
lean, it's tougher,
it's lean. There's a dark red meat. Yeah. With the ones that are farmers, they have to add color additive just so that the meat won't be white in the salmon. I mean, it's still pink. It's not red like the But yeah, I mean, 100%. And like you're saying with the whole foods, the main thing that you're looking for is You you say, what's the problem with preservatives? Isn't salt a preservative? Yes, it is. But there's a ton of other preservatives that these big companies, they put into food. Why would they want to do that? They want to maximize their shelf life. They want to make one product that can stay on the shelf as long as humanly possible. Well, why do preservatives work? Ask that question. What is it that they're fundamentally doing? Well, they're preventing it from decaying and turning bad and growing mold and growing all kinds of... Why? Because they're antimicrobial. They will not allow microbes to grow. Well, guess why that's a problem inside of us? We have a ton of microbes in our gut, and we're dependent on them, the good guys. They are what help us break down our food. They are what help us to get the minerals, to get the nutrients, to get the vitamins, to get everything out. And if we send preservatives right down to, we're just carpet bombing our own good guys, friendly fire, and we're causing a whole bunch of gut issues, which is why the gut is so involved in so many of today's problems.
It's the brain. It's the brainchild of your whole body.
Yep.
And we used to think this was the brain, this was the thing, and it's not now. Everything is here, which is wild.
Well, and some people will think, I'll fix that problem. I'll go get a probiotic. Well, if you're carpet bombing the probiotic every day, how well is that probiotic working?
Well, you got to be clear here. So it's like take anything that thrives on a certain diet, for instance. Mm-hmm. So let's say you've got I hate to use a dog, that's terrible, but you have a dog, and here are certain things a dog can eat, okay? We know you can't feed a dog chocolate, you can't feed a dog, sucralose, you can't feed a dog grass. Mm-hmm. If you went and just said, hey, I'm going to put a new dog, every time, I lose a dog, I'm just going to put a new dog out in the yard, and I'm going to feed it chocolate and grass and sugar-free gum or whatever it is. This is a stupid but extreme example. That dog will die every time. Mm-hmm.
Because it's not food. Right.
It's the wrong environment. Right. So if you've created an environment for that probiotic and you're tossing probiotic at this environment that it can't feed on, it just dies out.
Right.
So...
Well, and another example with that is, let's choose a wolf instead of a dog. Something that's just apex predator, strong, fast. You know what they do in the wild. And let's say you fed it a steak every day. You fed it a huge, giant steak. Is that wolf going to be happy? You better believe it's going to be happy. It's going to eat everything. It's going to thrive. That's what its body is made. If you had a cow out there, could the cow eat the steak? No, the cow's not going to thrive on that. It needs a whole different diet. But that same dog, if you took the standard American diet, if you took McDonald's and threw it out there, is the dog going to eat it? If you threw donuts and chocolate and chips and soda and all that out there, is the dog? Yes, the dog is going to eat it. What is that dog going to look like? You tell me. What's that dog going to look like in 6 months? I've seen that dog. Yes. Or the same dog, side by side. If you're feeding a steak a day, what's that one going to look like? That's enough said. And that's what's happening with humans as well. If you're not cleaning all those things up, and if you're not paying attention, it's very easy not to, because you're surrounded by it. You go into any convenience store, you go to a ball game, you go to the grocery store, you go anywhere, and it's everywhere you go. At the checkout stand, even if it's not, they've got snacks, they've got all kinds of stuff. So hard to avoid it unless you're really paying attention.
I mean, how hard it is just to go find a water that's in a glass bottle. I mean, Voss used to do it for a while. Now the Voss ones are plastic.
Yep.
So like, I'm having to pack reverse osmosis water to go around with me in a freaking genie bottle so that I can...
Well, I'm glad you brought that up. I mean, the water quality that you are consuming on a daily basis, not just drinking, but also bathing in, showering in, whatever. It's public information. They test these things across the whole nation. You can find out what the water quality is. Yeah. And I promise you, if you go on there and you look and you see how many heavy metals and things that are in there that you're accumulating, you're drinking it every day, it's going in and it's not coming out. Your body's accumulating it. It can lead to a whole bunch of metabolic disorders, thyroid problems, all kinds of autoimmune. It's worth investing in a reverse osmosis or some other way. I don't care if you're buying your water in glass bottles from an outside company, or if find a way to get a cleaner source of water. They even have whole house filtration things that'll even affect your shower.
It's hard to do. Like when I walk down the aisle at the grocery store and I look at all the waters that attract your attention, pH balance, and you're still screwed because it's still leaching plastic. Like it's just natural progression of how things decay. It leaches. Problem is when you apply heat, now it's,
right.
I don't even know what the caliber of change, but it's big.
Right.
And I've seen plenty of these. I've even pulled up to a gas station where they've got the water bottles stacked outside in cases, just getting blitzed
By the sun.
Yeah. And I'm looking at that
releasing
going,
so much. Right.
holy shit. Like, you might as well just eat the plastic bottle when you're done drinking the water.
And if you've ever tasted
Tastes
it,
like
have you ever
plastic.
tasted? Yeah,
It's
I mean,
like drinking out of a
leave
water
one in
hose.
your truck for a couple of days, and the sun hit. Oh my goodness, it don't taste like water
Well, I
anymore.
just think back to like those childhood memories drinking out of the water hose and that taste, and I'm like, bro, I was just swallowing chunks of plastic. That taste was the rubber and the plastic and all the crap breaking down in that hose that I was just blasting in my face.
Exactly.
So,
Well, and another thing I'm just going to touch on because he pulled out the nuts a while ago. And one thing that's common in nuts, for example, and we can pick on anything, but one thing that a lot of people don't understand about certain foods that you're putting in, because you just hear how good they are, or you turn it around and you look at the back and you see what all it contains, and you just take that at face value as if it is bioavailable. You just trust that just because it's there, your body's going to absorb it. That's not true, number one. But the other thing is what's common in a lot of nuts, you can go look it up, it's called phytic acid, spelled P-H-Y-T-I-C acid, and that's classified as an anti-nutrient. So what an anti-nutrient does is exactly what it sounds like. It goes through your body and it literally absorbs nutrients that you have already gotten, that you've already absorbed from something you've eaten, and it absorbs it and then takes it away from you. It steals it from you. And so if you're overdoing it on a bunch of nuts, they're good for you, you know, I mean, and they can be added in moderation. But if you're overdoing it, you could actually be adding in an anti-nutrient that's going right through you and sponging all the good stuff out of you, leaving you depleted. Some people don't consider
depletion, that. And then other things like the skin on an almond, it's protective. So there's oxalates in the skin of an almond. So if you're pounding a bunch of almonds, those are going to go in and start pounding your gut because it's a protective mechanism of the plant. And then now it's...
Yeah. So our bodies cannot... What he just brought up, oxalates, that's another prime example. We're not able to metabolize it. We're not able to break it down. We don't have a means to clear it effectively. It's very hard for our body to clear it. And a lot of times, if you go look at a kidney stone, it's oxalic acid. It's a rock made of it.
So here's where everyone should... This is where I get pissed off too. You all should be... I just told everybody to whole food diet, and then now we're going and tearing down, okay, your nuts. You got to watch out what nuts you eat, how many of those nuts you eat, what's it, right? And then all of a sudden now we can go into the veggies too, because once you start looking into plants, they have all kinds of protective mechanisms. So based on, did you cook it? Did you break down all the barriers? Did you?
And why is that? It's because plants, they, over history, they have evolved not like animals where we have arms and legs and teeth and claws and wings. Some animals where we can either fight you or we can get out. You know, if danger shows up, we can survive that way. Plants are kind of stuck in one spot. And so if something comes along wanting to eat them, how do they defend themselves?
Yeah.
Chemical warfare. That's how, the chemical warfare. And all you got to do is go, do we know of any plants that cause stuff? I think we can think of a couple right off the bat. Yeah. Cannabis might have a compound in there that does something. Tobacco, maybe. Most of the pharmaceutical drugs have plant origins where at a certain dose is completely lethal, but at another dose it's therapeutic. It can be used as a drug. And then there's other plants that are completely beneficial. You know, it's kind of got the whole kaleidoscope out there. You need to find out which ones are beneficial and which ones might not be.
So we'll go through all those things.
Yeah.
So again, this is where it starts to suck, right? Because then you're sitting there and you're going, do I take every supplement in the world or do I take none? Can I eat anything? Is there anything out there I can actually eat? Because everything's got a problem, everything's going to kill me, so I'm just going to go eat freaking donuts. Like, forget it. I mean, I know that feeling.
Yeah.
Like, you look at it and you're like, are you shitting me?
Well, and there's so many options. It's almost like just decision fatigue. What should I eat today? I've got 27 restaurants and everything, and there's
always something wrong.
There's always conflicting information and misinformation. It's very hard. So yeah, I agree.
So again,
we'll have to do a different episode where we're talking specifically about diets we recommend. This is just kind of a general scope of nutrition in general, but yeah.
The saying, like, start eliminating things. So I'll tell you the things that are no-brainer. The processed stuff, pulling that back. Even if you go eat the wrong vegetables, too many almonds, too many nuts, so on and so forth, they still are better for you than all of the processed components that we're talking about in these other third-party foods that are just junk. So stripping that out, even if you're not getting this second half right, you've already taken a massive step in the right direction. And then you got to start kind of maneuvering this thing a little bit. And there's lots of different strategies to do that, and we'll go into those in depth and how you can do those. And even with allergy tests, it doesn't mean like you can never eat that again. It's just at this point in time, when you took this test on this day, your body doesn't like this. But that changes. That can absolutely change.
Even before you do that, there's a short list of things that you could, anybody on the planet, I don't care what diet you do, I don't care, you pick. If you'll get rid, I can probably give you a short list of about 7 things.
And set it in another video.
Well, I'm just saying I can say it real quick, but yeah, I mean, like, you got your processed, your ultra processed, you got your grains, you got your seed oils that are terrible for you. You've got your sugar or your carbohydrates in general.
And seed oils are exactly what they sound like. I named some off that were here. You will see it. It's like, safflower oil, corn oil, like whatever is.
And the reason they're bad is the extraction process. Yeah. If they had a way to cleanly get it out, which apparently they don't, because they always, on all these seed oils that you buy at the store, the reason why it's so bad is because that oil has become oxidized. And since it's oxidized, it goes in and it causes massive inflammation and disruption. Yeah. If they could do a cold press version, maybe they could find a way at some point. It wouldn't be as bad, but for now, I mean, I would say if you're going to do oils and it's going to be plant-based oils, I would do avocado oil, coconut oil, or olive oil. Those would be the 3.
But don't go blasting your olive oil. So look at the heat, which ones are rated for what heat. Mm-hmm. Because I watch a lot of people, even my wife, I'll catch her, she's, and then boom, she's over there searing steaks on olive oil. I'm like, shit, it can't be at that temperature.
Right, it's oxidizing it.
It's oxidizing. Yeah. So you're taking what was good for you, and now all of a sudden, I know, Mother F, is not good for you. And so, and trust me, again, as I go through, and this is why we started doing this, is just because I'm like, man, if you just go online and listen to everything everybody's saying, you're just sitting there going, what the hell do I do? Like, what do I do? Like, I'm just F it, man. Yeah. I'm going to go.
And you're going to be changing every week a new diet or, a fad diet every month. And if there's no consistency, I mean, there's no way you're ever going to find lasting results.
Yeah. So, I mean, seed oils out, junk food out, go whole food, go organic, go grass-fed, go grass-finished, fed and finished. If it's not finished, if it does not say finished on there, that means that cow was out eating grass, and before it was time to go make money for that farmer, they started pumping that thing with as much feed as they possibly could to get it to weight so that they could go get whatever the target price point is for that cow. And you can find local farms, and people say, oh, it's so much more expensive. I just did a test, so there's a local farm here that I ordered from. It ended up costing me $2 more for the same amount of meat that you could go get from somewhere else. Mm-hmm. Grass-fed, grass-finished, from a big operation. Mm-hmm. So like Walmart has grass-fed, grass-finished. Right. There's some other big players that have grass-fed, grass-finished, which I'll buy sometimes. Right. In a pinch, I'll go grab it. But you can go local to where the farmer is. You can go see what's happening.
Yeah. So you know exactly what you're getting.
Yeah. Yeah. And so, I mean, I got a big old brisket right now just sitting thawing.
Same. My mouth's watering already thinking about it.
6-pound brisket just thawing right now. So, trying to wrap this thing into something simple for baseline. We didn't even get into supplements. We'll save that for a different time because you don't even need to go there yet. You got to reduce and then add. Mm-hmm. We're stacking too many things and hoping that they take care of some of these bad habits by just introducing more things, the magic pill. the weight loss supplement, the whatever it might be, you got to just pull it back in. So you got to get in control and start taking things out. Does that mean we're robots and we don't screw up and we don't go, no, we'll go do a stupid thing. We'll go.
Oh yeah. And and all I'll say is if you're going to splurge, then do it and enjoy every bite, don't make it a daily thing. Yeah. Don't make it a habit where you're just killing yourself every day. But go out there and enjoy it and then get right back on that horse the very next day. We're all going to have holidays and birthdays and celebrations where you're gonna, food is a very big part of that. We're not, no one's gonna be 100% perfect every single day. But if you limit it and you're just conscious of it and you can clean up 95% of your days, it will do a world of difference for your health and your longevity.
Yeah, no question. And if you're not sick and you feel healthy and everything's working for you, get the majority of days. Pull back here, because at some point something will break. It will show up in some form.
Yep.
It will be autoimmune. It will be cancer. It will be heart disease. It will be diabetes. It will be
any sort of metabolic disorder. Yeah.
It will find you at some point in time.
And if you wait until then, it's a lot harder to treat it.
You're doing what these dumbasses are doing, trying to go backwards.
We've been there, speaking from experience. So you wait until full blown, out of hand, and you don't just reel it back in one day. I mean, it becomes a lifelong affair, or at least a very big challenge. Yeah. So yeah,
and it's hard because there's a lot of people who think that it doesn't dictate disease, but as much as we're learning about the gut and as much as coming out, 100% of our daily choices are either making us more sick or we're preventing becoming sick, or we're healing from being sick. Mm-hmm. Those are kind of your paths. Mm-hmm. And so even with all the biohacking stuff, it's like, great, if we can live to 120, sure, fine. It's just, how are you going to live those years?
Yeah.
And especially in your, how are you going to feel in all of those years? Mm-hmm. That's the fight you're after. Mm-hmm. So trust me, I love food. You love food. We're both fat kids at points in our life. I love it. I mean, if I could just go out there and it had no bearing on my health, I would travel the world just to taste and eat. And
me too. And I'd probably be eating 20,000 calories a day.
I could.
Honestly,
not a problem.
Just, no. If it didn't cause the metabolic stuff,
yeah.
But ultimately, at the end of the day, this is the last thing I'm going to say on it is, when you have to go to the base question: what is food? Like, what is food? And if you answered that question honestly, in what it really is, instead of what I crave and tastes good, that's not right. Food, it has two purposes. One, it's fuel, obviously. It gives you body calories to burn so that you have energy. Two, it's there for cellular and tissue repair so that it can rebuild itself. Your body can constantly rebuild. Every cell that you have in your whole body, head to toe, doesn't matter what, it's got to be replaced. It's got to be rebuilt. And if that's its main job, is to have energy and to rebuild itself every day, and that's it, then you can focus on the quality of the food and not just the taste of the food. Oh, that doesn't sound good, or oh, I'm craving an ice cream cone right now. I think I'm just going to go. Is that really the best quality? Is that going to help you rebuild your body in the best way? Probably not. And if you can just get clarity there, a lot of times that can help you just be in the right state of mind to build a grocery list and go actually stack the deck in your favor by getting the right nutrition, whatever that means for you. And we'll talk about what we recommend in a future video, but whatever nutrition is best for you, at least 95% of the time. If you want to build in a special occasion and cheat on that day or whatever, that's fine. But let's at least get 95% clean. And all of a sudden, it's not so stressful anymore because you have a mission and you have a plan and you know why you're doing it. And if someone asks you why you're doing that, you say, because I chose to do this, And that just simplifies it for me. You have to go to the base question, the root cause, and that's essentially what it is for me.
That's what people are going to love us or hate us for, is you're not going to get a blanket, here's what you do, here's the checklist, here's the supplement pack you buy. You're not going to, it's just not what we do. It's not what we're going to do because it's not the reality. Every single one of us is unique. There's a core set of things all of us should be doing, but then each of us are unique enough that needs to be dialed in. You've got a different lifestyle than I've got. You've got a different lifestyle than I have. everyone's got different things going on, so you have to customize winning more than losing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so that's what you're setting up, is like, how do I win more than I lose?
Right.
And how can I stack more of those winning days? And I'm telling you, as much as I love food, once you start to dial in, there's a feeling that you get that you don't want to lose.
Thank you. You get that momentum. You want to maintain what you have to earn it. And once you get it, you want to stay there. But at the same time, if you stack it and you're 95...
That was his last thing he was going to say.
I just had to say one thing. The resilience factor. I didn't say that. Once you've been good, like he's saying, and you stacked it in your favor and you're going, you got some momentum, you don't want to fall off. But when you plan that cheat meal and you put that in and you know it's not doing you any good other than it tastes good on your tongue, you're resilient to it because you've built up, your body's in a much better spot to absorb that hit and keep on going as long as you get back on track. If you fall off the wagon and you derail, whole different story. But I just wanted to say that.
Yeah, so we'll dive in deeper to each little segment because there's so much here. Today's moral of the story is don't add anything. Go look at what you're doing and take off as many things as you possibly can.
Yep. Elimination.
Just eliminate.
Yep.
Don't add. I'm not telling you to go buy a supplement. I'm not telling you to go get a gym membership. I'm not telling you to go. All I'm saying is go through your list and find 10 things that you can just X off.
Yep.
And don't put them back in the pantry.
Yep.
Don't put
Turn
them
it
back
around
in the refrigerator.
and look at what's in them. And just go from there.
Just get rid of them.
Yep.
Just take them out and start there. That's your victory.
That 100%. That is the best place to start. Eliminate all the crap out first. That has to go. That has to go before we can even talk about the nutrition and talk about the supplements and talk about the other various things that has to go. It's enough. You can't keep both. If you keep these, they'll cancel out all the good stuff.
It's the biggest net positive. We could put you on $5,000 a month worth of supplementation,
Ain't gonna do nothing.
and we probably cannot offset the other side of that.
Right.
That's powerful.
Right.
That's powerful because now we're saying you're not spending any money. Just take it away.
We're actually saving money. Get rid of stuff.
Take it away. Take it away or change it. Like, hey, I'm buying ground beef. Let me start getting my ground beef grass-fed, grass-finished.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I was cooking this in canola oil. Let me start cooking it in avocado oil. So we're going to leave it there. Go eliminate 10 things. Just go find 10 things. Comment the things that you cut out of your diet. The
Please
top
do.
One. Which one's the crappiest? Just comment what you took out.
I'm curious what the top response will be.
See what you took out. So, all right. Be healthy.
Thank you, guys.